And our clock actually says 11:15, so we got everything aligned. I'd like to call us to order. Jen, we have attendance, correct?
We do, and we have forum.
All right, and any public comment? I assume none?
None.
All right, then I'd move to our first order of business, which is the approval of the minutes from our meeting in July. Any comments, changes, corrections, deletions on those minutes? If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And now we're on to items for action and referral from the to the policy committee. These are items that we previously had discussed at our pardon me, at the technical committee before this one. First up is the amendment number 1. Jen, is there anything you need to say or add to this?
Now, as Bob Nelson pointed out during the technical committee meeting, all 3 of these amendments from District 5 reflect projects that have either just been concluded and were on the July letting, or that are on lettings that are coming up. So he wanted to make sure that we had them in place in the TIP in the appropriate time period. He is going to confirm with us, based again on the technical committee, that the identification of the project that is state only of these 3 is correct in this list. This is how we received it from District 5, and he's just going to double check to make sure that that's the proper breakdown. If you should have in your packet this chart that looks a lot like our TIP charts, and this is what we were sent. And as it turns out, this time around we can leave the totals in because it tells us what the overall program is for these 3 projects. And as I mentioned earlier, we do have the state project now, and all of the state projects, and next month, which is coming up all too soon, we will be doing the amendment to bring in all of the state program to the TIP and make any other changes we need to make at that time. And then we can sort of sail on from that point with a fully populated TIP.
Okay. Jen, are we obligated to take these individually, or can we take these as a group?
It's your choice.
Actually, it's your choice.
Oh, well, then I would, okay,
Yeah.
okay, then
Yes.
it's the chair's discretion to take these as a group, number 5, number 6, and number 7, the amendments to the FY 23-27 TIP. Could I get a motion to approve these 3 items? Thank you, Ryan. Second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The amendments are approved.
Which point number 1 is solar, isn't it?
I don't know.
Because he's an official member, so we'll make sure that.
There he gets a vote.
Yeah.
Jim? Jim?
It's technical.
Yeah. If you're on the phone, can you let us know, A, if you can hear us, because you won't answer if you can, and B, who you are?
Hello, I could hear all of you guys. My name is Anthony Yamzon. I'm an intern with the McLean County Regional Planning Commission.
Thank you, Anthony.
He must be linked up through his phone.
I guess.
Okay. Now,
With that, otherwise Jerry is still be the proxy.
okay. All right, let's move on. Number 8 is the approval of publication of the draft Metropolitan Long Range Transportation Plan for 2050 from the Bloomington Normal Urbanized Area. Presentation and public comment, which will be on September 2nd through October 17th.
Yeah. So Chairman, if I may just give some
Please.
background, as I have updated the committee in past months, the project is on schedule. We've been working with a project steering committee, and many of you do serve on that committee, recognizing some of you don't. And so we've been working on the draft chapters, and then still finalizing a couple of chapters and getting ready for publication, for public comments and review. There is a 45-day public review period, and we will be doing the traditional and non-traditional, the hard copies and the electronic versions to be made available for the public for review and comment. And so there are different chapters. The PSC have been the project steering committee has kind of reviewed as they were given the different chapters along, and recognizing there's still a draft, and also that is a work in progress. So, but we do shoot for the have the final draft plan for the policy committee for your consideration of approval at the end of October. We, from Federal Highway Administration standpoint, the previous plan was adopted in November of 2017. So the 5-year update, so that would be have to be done by late November, but we would like to take the final draft to this committee for your consideration approval at the end of October. And so, I don't know any additional comments, Jen, that you want to add?
I think not, no.
Okay. So, just questions, comments on this project.
Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the publication of the draft. Someone like to make a motion? Thank you, Kevin. Second?
Second.
Jerry. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay. All right, we're now on to item 9, which is the report of the Federal Highway Administration MCRPC program review. Mr. Kite, I understand you're going to lead us in the discussion.
Well, I just want to lead off by saying thank you to Ray and Jennifer and their staff for participating in our discussion yesterday. I will say it was very robust on many different topics. And we just really commend McLean County Regional Planning Commission for a lot of their efforts, especially with the award of grants and for the planning study for Veterans Parkway. We actually, unbeknownst to us, we actually did a site visit yesterday on the way back from lunch back to the, we wasn't really kind of thinking about it until we started thinking of, and it was kind of chatting about the safety and aspects of, and I've seen it, and I know Ray has seen it, about people walking on the shoulders and sort of just the unsafe aspects of a lot of that parkway. And just hearing the history of it, that was once a bypass, is now the kind of the main street of Bloomington. I know this is kind of where I live in Lincoln, so this is kind of where we do a lot of our shopping is up here in Bloomington. So I also want to segue, we kind of covered a lot of the infrastructure law, the bipartisan infrastructure law. Some people use the other acronym. I go with this one because it's easier to remember. But I also have a fact sheet, which I'll leave with Jennifer if you'd like. Makes it a little easier to where to go instead of trying to go find some of this on our website. So I'll leave this here if you'd like a copy. I'll leave it with Jennifer and Ray. So, and I think you may have a copy.
We can email to the
and just got a lot of information. I will say your executive director, Ray, he's doing a lot of great leadership here. In order to get a raise grant, that's not an easy feat. And so he's really positioned this particular community in a great position to be able to get other grant opportunities, which is afforded here. But I also say that, you have a great partner here with IDOT that between Tom and District 5 staff that really is here to support you in whatever ways possible. We will be offering some recommendations. Overall, we saw great things, nothing of major concern. But with anything, you can always find some areas for improvement and those type of considerations. And we appreciate the openness and of the staff here in order to hear some of those recommendations. So we will be presenting that. Hopefully, as a team, we're going to try to formulate the rest of the draft report here this next week. We're trying to do something different. As y'all know, limited staff is not just in the locals, and I've heard it for a long time, and you know, we were heavily staffed, but now it's really hit us at Federal Highways. And unfortunately, the level of work, not just with, it's not diminishing. One of the great assets, and it can be a curse in some ways, it depends on how you use it, is this is really an infrastructure bill of a generation. So there are vast amount of opportunities, and you as a community are really set up for an opportunity to take advantage of every single bit of those discretionary grants. We provided some information on some trail opportunities that you can, for bikes and motorized type of activities with recreational trails with IDNR. So there are already assets available with ITEP, with recreational trails of your normal traditional pots of money. HSIP, you know, there's a ton of money that we need to really get allocated and spend. And we also talked about some of the PO funds, some of those issues, and so how that can be allocated towards improvements, whether it's through you know, some of their social media outreach or through some of the web-based technology that they're accessing, using some of those resources to help with their development of reports and databases that they can have access to, that they can expand beyond just what they're currently using. So, you know, of all the areas, I mean, you're pretty much in the center of the state, and not just geographically, but you know, you as Bloomington, you offer a lot with the educational infrastructure here, the State Farm. You have a lot of partners that you can access that most communities don't have. And so I'm really looking forward to the opportunities that can move forward in a very positive direction. So with that, I'll kind of open it up for questions if y'all have any questions or those type of things. But overall, that's generally the aspects I kind of want to highlight. And y'all heard my spiel about the long range plan and the deadlines and those type of things in the technical committee. But those are coming up, and they'll be here before you know it. With that, I'll kind of turn it back over unless y'all have some questions.
Any questions, Mr. Kite? If not, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I know the commission looks forward to being able to read the report. Thank you. Now on to other items for the committee. Are there any additional items that need to be addressed by the committee today before we adjourn?
If I may, just one thing, not on the MLTP, which I have just kind of briefed you on. The one thing is just when James was talking about the IIJA grants and other funding opportunities, just FYI, and some of you are aware of it anyway, that the staff MCRPC staff is working on the SS4A, the grant application, and that's the Safe Streets for All, and that's part of the IIJA program this just announced. And due date for the application is September 15th, and appreciate all the participation for a lot of the partners already, many weeks ago and since. And so we continue, with IDOT support in the locals. We hopefully get another win. And as you know, that we had that Go Safe action plan adopted last year, April of 2021. And so the SS4A essentially is, we're doing it, pursuing it essentially because under the announcement under the SS4A, there's some additional criteria that when we were doing the Go Safe plan, it wasn't there. The grant program wasn't there. So we have to fill that gap so that we can prepare ourselves for future implementation money, but we have to get through this prerequisite, I call prerequisite, of getting the action plan for the SS4A done and hopefully get awarded. And then we can think about future implementation money, and also that in partnership with IDA, because that will also alleviate some of the burden. We can also have additional source of federal funds, and that will actually alleviate IDA's burden on certain projects, and that you can help others too. And so that's our thoughts. So we continue to work hard in the next few weeks to have the application submitted by September 15th. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray. If there's nothing else that needs to come before the committee, I'd like to mention that our next scheduled meeting is on the 23rd of September at 11:30. There is a tentative possible conflict with the IDOT Fall Planning Conference, but I assume.
Don't believe that'll be an issue unless there is there something separate from the fall PD meeting, program development meeting? Is this what this?
Wednesday afternoon, there's some training session, but
We have something Tuesday through Thursday, so I don't see a conflict from my personal perspective.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
So Friday you'll be open, yeah. Friday afternoon, the conference.
The Friday is over at noon up
Okay.
in Rockford.
Oh, okay.
Right, yes, and I done call for conference.
Yeah, we have something separate in Springfield.
Oh, I
see.
I'm
okay.
available for.
Oh,
meeting.
okay. So that's a IDOT fall conference. I don't know. At least Jen and I will be planning on going. I don't know if the other members plan on going. That will be up in Rockford, and it will finish by noon supposedly.
But we'll still be up there.
Yeah, we'll still be.
Right.
as long as if you hold your meeting, your chairman's here, you got a quorum and votes.
Yeah, we can do it through.
We have time to work it out.
Yeah, so I mean, any issue with anybody else, I mean, otherwise we can work it out somehow. Well, Jen and I can join virtually.
I'll bring my iPad. We'll be able to see those.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Second? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed saying sign. We are adjourned.